Yeah, I need to at least be playing New York. And
Like,
I mean, and to your point with Julius Randle being out, that gives everything that gives the advantage for Joel to go in there and push himself further in the playoffs and get
yeah.
themselves ready for a long. It looks like gonna be a long stretch for the East.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. You got Hartenstein, Garden, and Embiid. Man,
Come
come on. Easy
on, that's
50 piece. Give me that. Or Mitchell
facts.
Robinson? How dare you,
Facts.
bro? Man,
Yes, sir. Hey, I'm icing the game like a free throw. I love when she talking the lingo. Wanna fuck on the freako. She says she bringing the Tito's. We hacking the game like a Chico. I'm a monster, it's time for the beast mode. Cracking your skulls like Debo. Straight to the strip, I'll singles. They peeping straight through the peephole. You a lame, you a dork, and bimbo.
Oh yes, sir. Oh yes, sir. It's your boy Twan. We back with another episode of the Off Topic podcast. This is episode 16. I had to bring my guest back, Jamaelo. He's back for another episode. Appreciate you, brother, for coming back.
hey,
Appreciate
what's
you.
up, man? Thank you for having me, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
So,
sir. So for this episode, we're just going to just tackle the play-in tournament matchups. So we will cover the East and the West play-in tournaments. But before we go right into that, just some information for those that don't know. The play-in tournament actually starts this coming Tuesday, April 16th, and will follow on Wednesday, the 17th. We will still have one last matchup with the loser and winner of the two sections of the tournament. So we'll have one more set of days on the Friday, April 19th, to follow to see who makes it to the eighth seed for the West and East. So we'll have the whole week of play-in tournament matchups this week. So just to go ahead and get right into things, we're going to start off with the East play-in tournament matchups. We have first, so at the seventh and eighth seed, we have Sixers and Miami for that first set of games. So whoever does win that will be the seventh seed, and then the loser will be playing the winner of the ninth and tenth seed, which is Chicago at 9, and then Atlanta Hawks at the 10th spot. So, Jamie, I'm just going to let you go ahead and start this off with just the East play-in tournament matchups. How do you think things are going to play out for the East?
okay. Both of these matchups in the East, we got the Bulls and the Hawks, and then we have the 76ers and the Heat. Honestly, out of those, the one that I think I'm gonna definitely be tuning into is gonna be the 76ers and Heat. I'm
Yeah.
gonna watch both, of course, but I think that's the one where I'm like, oh, let me make sure I rush home and watch this one just because we get to see Embiid.
Yeah.
Of course, we've seen him in the last little few games, of the regular season, but this is playoff time, so he knows it's a crucial game. So being able to see peak Embiid, that'll be good to see. I think I'm looking at this. I think it will be. I think this is a must-win game for the 76ers.
Yeah.
For one, you get to go against the Knicks, who I mean they have big men, but they're missing Randall,
Yeah.
and I feel like that's a little bit easier than having to if you lose and then if you win that one you got to go against Boston. So
Right.
yeah, if I'm the 76ers, I'd probably try to avoid them, just because the Celtics, man, they look great, so
Yeah.
that'd be tough. And then of course, yeah, if the Celtics go to play the Knicks, then the Heat are more than likely going to get the Bulls or Hawks, whoever comes out of that. And then, as you know, the Heat, they're the Celtics kryptonite, it seems
That's
like,
so true.
like it just seemed like they always had what is it, playoff Jimmy? He always
Yeah.
held the Celtics numbers, man.
Yeah.
So I if I'm them, I would, I mean, if I'm Miami, I'd be cool with the Knicks too, but if you want to I don't want to say easier path, but if you can get the Celtics early on when you have that
Yeah.
like mental edge over them, I think that'd be a good strategic matchup for them too.
Definitely. No, I actually agree with that. So really, my take on just the East play-in tournament, I just think that the Sixers and Miami are going to advance, depending on who's going to be the seventh or eighth. Because I think either Sixers can beat out Chicago or Atlanta, and vice
Mhm.
versa when it comes to Miami having to play Chicago or Atlanta for the eighth spot. I just think both teams are just going to they're going to make it. They're just going to make the
Yeah.
seventh, eighth spot. It's just come down to who's going to win the first game, which you're probably right.
Mhm.
It's a must win for both of them if they want to avoid trying to play the one seed Boston. Which you're right. If I'm the Sixers, yeah, I need to at least be playing New York. And
Like,
I mean, and to your point with Julius Randle being out, that gives everything that gives the advantage for Joel to go in there and push himself further in the playoffs and get
yeah.
themselves ready for a long. It looks like gonna be a long stretch for the East.
Yeah, bro. I
Yeah.
mean, come on. You got Hartenstein, Garden, and Embiid. Man,
Come
come on. Easy
on.
50 piece. Give me that. Or Mitchell
Facts.
Robinson? How dare you,
Facts.
bro? Man, so
Facts.
Embiid better be, you know what I'm saying? That's the matchup
Facts.
I would want if I'm the Sixers. That's
Yeah.
why I said they need that more than anything. I think the Heat, like I said, they can kind of chill because they be like, all right, if we play the Celtics, you know what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
we we done got them a few times.
And
So
Miami's in a
yeah.
position too where it's like, man, like what happened last time, they fought out of the eighth. Well, really, they were like 10th seed, 9th or 10th seed, and still
Mm-hmm.
made it to the finals. Yeah, either way, Sixers at Miami, they're going to be like, look, we either need this first one, and I know you're probably right. I think the pressure's on if Sixers lose this matchup with Miami first, because them having to go be the eighth spot playing Boston is just going to be a tough matchup. So I think
Yeah.
that is going to be a must-watch game to see who actually pulls out of that one. And then no disrespect to Chicago or Atlanta, I just think Philly and I just think Miami are just better teams. That's just
They
it.
they ain't got it, man.
I
We
know
can say
Atlanta
they
doesn't.
ain't
I
got
know
it.
Atlanta doesn't, but I know Chicago would be a team that would be like your dark horse out of the East, at least for the play-in tournament, where they could probably surprise some people. But
Mm,
having to be matched up against Sixers or Miami, like that's just gonna be tough.
yeah.
And this is a one-game elimination. It's not
Yeah.
a series, so it's one
Yeah.
game. So all right, so yeah, so with the East, we'll see how that thing plays out. Like I said, this would be starting on Tuesday, but we're gonna go ahead and go to the West. This is what I've been really wanted to talk about. So the West play-in. So honestly, I will say this whole season, watching the West Conference has been so much fun to watch. It's been so competitive,
Man.
like down to we got the top three teams fighting for the one seed, and then you got literally the bottom four playing for trying to make it in, or at least seeding. It's all coming down to seeding right now.
Yeah.
So and it's crazy because Dallas jumped up to fifth, and they were literally 7-6, and things have been
Yeah.
fluctuating a lot. But as of today, how things have ended, we have got the seventh and eighth seed being New Orleans Pelicans and the Los Angeles Lakers made the eighth spot. So either one of those games or one of those teams, if they win, they make it straight to the seventh seed in the West. And then at the bottom tier, we have ninth Sacramento Kings, and then my Golden State Warriors at the 10th spot. Well, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Oh man. Well, the first thing that just kind of pops out is just like you said, the seeding. I mean, if you look at the West all season, the seeding, the games, it's been wild. It's been a battle at the top and the bottom,
Yeah.
honestly. And I was looking at the standings, and I'm like, man, the number 11 spot, where my boys are at, the Rockets, finished the season 41 and
Yeah.
41, and
Yeah.
we're 11th.
Yeah.
And then you look at the East and the 10 seed, the Hawks are 10 games below. They have 10 more losses than wins, and they're in the play-in. So that just kind of gives you like a little bit more insight, like, dang, how competitive is the West really? You got teams that are breaking 500 that still aren't making the cut.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's always been a tough conference, but this year has definitely been interesting. I think out of the play-in tournament, the Kings and Warriors is always a good game. I feel
Yeah.
like
That's gonna
that's
be a
always
good
going to
one.
be a great matchup. But
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see what the Lakers are going to do in this Pelican series, because I mean, if you win, do you really want to see Denver first? Is that what you want to do with yourself? I mean, you got that, or do you lose and take either Sacramento or Warriors? They're gonna battle it out. If I'm
Yeah.
LeBron or the Lakers, and then if I'm LeBron and the Lakers missing AD because AD's hurt, I don't think I want to see Jokic with a halfway AD or no AD at all. I would much rather us, hey, lose this first one, win against the Warriors or Kings, and then play OKC and try to take advantage of the fact that they're a young team and the Lakers filled with veterans. So I just think a strategic move in the West that would be good if I was the Lakers.
I definitely want to start off saying about shout out Adam Silver, man. You really found something. You have found something in the NBA that made things more competitive
Yeah.
lately. So I think the play in first off is just a great addition. And it's crazy that you're saying that like because being at the seventh and eighth spot, you kind of are in a position where you can kind of play out. You can kind of play it out and see how you want to, be matched up, and that's what it is, man. Playoffs is
Mhm.
matchups. Like sometimes it's not even being the better team; it's just matchups and
Yep.
seeing how you
Better
can,
situation.
make it through the playoffs, And I'll
Yep.
say there's a part of me that would love for the Lakers to just win this game. Well, okay, look, as a Warriors fan, first off, let me first say I don't want to see the Lakers in the play-in tournament. Not
They're scary.
one game,
They are the
dude.
dark horse in the West.
Dude, the Warriors have not had good stats when it comes to Lakers in the play-in tournament. We don't do well. So me personally, I would love for the Lakers to just win. I honestly, my whole bet, these last 2 weeks, I've just wanted the Lakers and Warriors not to be in the same bracket in the play-in because it's just too much. It is, and it'll just be really whoever has it that game because I think the Warriors have potential beating the Lakers and playing just as much as the Lakers. So it's not gonna be easy for nobody. I just think like those games they're just too intense, and I'm not ready for that yet. But I would love to see Lakers beat the Pelicans and redeem themselves from a first round sweep from Denver and actually like, this whole season just been about trying to see if y'all can shape you guys to be better than Denver and like this would be your test. But to your point, it would be smart for the Lakers to be like, look, let's just take a game off, let Pelicans make the 7th spot, and let's just take a risk on beating potentially the Warriors or Sacramento. For the Lakers standpoint, that would be smart for them because if they make the 8th spot, they're playing the first seed Oklahoma City, and I think that's one that I'm not a Lakers fan, but I'm sure that they'll probably feel more comfortable than Denver.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And then where I stand with just the Warriors, man, I feel confident in saying that the Warriors can beat Sacramento. So obviously we would need to win one more game, and I think that's what's going to be tough for the Warriors is having to be either the Lakers or New Orleans for that 8th spot. But I think if they can get over that hump, I think that we have a good shot at beating the 1 seed of Oklahoma. I really think so. I think, and not to say that we're gonna lay Shea and them boys are gonna lay down. They're gonna make the Warriors play though. Like they're gonna bring the best out of them, and I think that's gonna be just a great first round matchup. But my hope is that just the Warriors we can win these 2 games and just make the 8th spot. So I'm praying.
Hey man. Well, I can't say I hope the best for you. I'm a Rockets fan, so we're like sworn, rivals. I think I saw somewhere we've lost the last 13 times against you guys.
But y'all give us the best, which is crazy because it probably shouldn't have been that many games. 'Cause I think y'all have really gave us like the biggest test. I feel like the last few years.
Yeah. Man.
But we'll see how things play out in the West. Like I said, this all starts on Tuesday, so this is going to be pretty exciting to see who all actually does make it into the playoffs. And then obviously when it comes to my podcast, when the playoffs start rolling in, I will be dropping more and more content. It just was, a period of just taking off just so that the things can kind of get settled with the play-in and everything else. And then the first round of the 2024 NBA playoffs do start on April 20th, which is next Saturday. So the playoffs is here. We're in NBA playoff territory. So I'm so excited. I've missed it so much. So we're finally here. But yeah, other than that, do you have anything else before we close out?
Man, honestly, I think I'm good. I was having this debate with one of my homies back then. They said, man, all these veteran teams, they're going to win. Some of these young teams, in the playoffs is when all that comes in. But I'm like, man, I've been watching basketball. I think we're in a new age, man.
Yeah,
the Thunder could knock off some of these veterans.
I think so too.
The Timberwolves even. I think the Timberwolves,
I think so too.
these young teams they're serious. So I'm excited to see a lot of the new school versus old school matchups.
Yeah, we're gonna see a lot of that. We're gonna see a lot of that in the West playoffs, and that's the thing, man. You have to remind people, like, man, a few years ago, the Warriors, we were the Oklahoma City Thunder. Like, we were that squad that were that young, new, started, changing the way the NBA looked and everything like that, and like look where they came off. So we cannot blow by Oklahoma City just because you almost can't even like put it on experience anymore because they got the talent. It's like they got enough talent to win through the playoffs. So shout out to OKC because they got the 1 seed. Like that was a battle. Like they topped Denver, for that 1 spot. So it's pretty serious. So yeah, like I said, we'll see. And we won't get into the playoffs matchups yet. We'll probably drop that. I guess I'll drop that before the playoffs actually start. Just because I'm pretty excited to talk about all these different matchups we got. We got the Clippers, Dallas, Phoenix, Minnesota. Like it's gonna be fun. But yeah, man. Other than that, man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Just continue to comment, subscribe for more content, man. We're gonna be pushing out more and more videos as we are at the end of the playoffs, really, the fourth quarter of the NBA season. So we're excited for everything that's gonna be coming up. But other than that, I hope y'all stay tuned. Shout out my boy Jamaelo for coming back. Until next time, we'll see y'all. Yes, sir.
Later.